So I'm going to actually use a blanket. Last week I showed a blanket underneath my head, and I'm going to do that again, where my head is elevated, but my shoulders are coming down. And it's just a nice way to get a little traction almost with the neck. So the shoulders are down on the earth, the head is lifted, and this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I enjoy it personally. So this morning, I'm just going to find a nice, comfortable place. I'm going to open up my hands out to the sky. And you can choose any formation with the legs that feel good to you to begin if you are in this reclined posture. So maybe you want to just keep the legs straight out in front of you, or if it feels nice to begin with the soles of the feet together, you can do that as well. Or maybe you want to spread the feet apart and bring the knees in together. That's another way that you can start kind of a nice release on the low back. So wherever you are, just begin to notice the breath. Just really make a note of how your breath is as you arrive on your mat this morning. So whether you're staying seated or you're reclined, just watch that breath travel in through the nose. Watch it travel in through the belly, travel in through the chest, and lips remaining sealed, just letting go. See if you can begin to deepen it. Just notice how the breath is as you arrive on your mat, and then begin to deepen it. Feel a little bit more air coming in through the nose. Moving down into the belly, feel the belly lift. See if you can really send it deep into the belly. Then let it kind of roll as a wave through the chest, and then just very slowly let it back out through the nose. A few times. See if we can really slow that breath, slow just everything down in the body. Really be mindful of the breath this morning through our whole practice. See if it can become audible, sounding like we are fogging a mirror with the lips sealed. So really let that breath become audible as you exhale. Just envision a word or phrase, just something that brings just peace to the mind. Just envision that wash over the body. Breathe it into the body. Breathe it in. Just feel that love, that light just moving through the body into the fingertips, into the toes. Just continue to breathe in that goodness and let go of what no longer serves us. A couple more times, just at your own pace. And let's take a full breath in through the nose. We're going to sigh it out through the mouth. So breathe in through the nose. Open mouth. One more time. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And then just begin to roll the wrists. Move the fingers. The full body stretch when you're ready. Oh, nice big full body stretch. Roll the ankles a little bit. Just move everything out. Move it all out. And then Just bring the hands down by the sides of the body and bring the soles of the feet onto the earth. Lengthen through the back body, kind of lift up a little bit with the bum and place it a little closer to the feet. And then just a nice gentle sway with the knees. Nice gentle sway. Just back and forth. Back and forth. And then let's go ahead and just pull those knees in towards the chest, just gently, just very gently, kind of rock it out a little bit. Rock it out. And then I'm going to roll all the way over to my right hand side. Still bring that little cushion underneath the head. And then I'm going to take my left hand and just windmill it all the way up, real slow. Just watch it. Oh, watch it as you windmill all the way up and come into a twisted position. And then I'm going to lift the hand back up and bring it back down. So again, just watch the hand, windmill it up into this twist, and then lift it up and back down one more time. All the way up and around, nice and slow. And then I'm just going to let it settle on this side and just relax. So this is a really big twist. If you feel that you need to kind of adjust the hips a little bit or even bring a prop, go ahead and do so. Just make sure it feels comfortable on the back body. Just let that left shoulder get nice and heavy. Oh, just nice big twist for the upper back body, for the whole spine. Just breathe in again, just that fresh new light. And wring out what no longer serves us. Just let it go. Let it go. One more time. Big breath right here. Let it go. And then just very, very, very slowly, very gently lift those knees and come back onto the back body. Straighten out through the spine. Kind of lengthen it a little bit. Oh, take a minute. Back and forth with the knees. Just readjust things. And then knees are going to come into my chest again. Ooh, nice hug. Rock back and forth. And gently watch the coffee if you have it. The whole body is going to roll over to the left. And my right hand this time, I'm going to windmill it up and behind my head and just watch the hand. Watch it, watch it, watch it. All the way over. And then lift it up and back. Again, watch the hand all the way. My other hand is kind of at a T here and then back. And then one more time, all the way over. This feels good. I'm just going to pause this time and just let the hand and everything be. If it feels good to keep moving in that windmill motion, take your time and move through several cycles of those. Your choice. Either just stay right here in this static position or continue the moving with it if that feels better. But just take several breaths wherever you're at. I'm going to let my right shoulder get nice and heavy. Right shoulder gets nice and heavy. Just really just feel like it's melting into the earth. Just let any tension go in the body. Bring it all out. Let it go. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it back over again. And then just gently roll back up. Roll back up. Let the spine straighten out. Maybe lift the hips a little bit, lengthen out through the back body. Just let it be for a second. Let it be. You kind of look back and forth with the neck a little bit if that feels good. And then bring the knees in towards the chest. Nice big hug again. Let's take a happy baby pose. Happy baby pose. Lift those feet. Roll a little bit on the back body. Oh my goodness. And just bring the feet together, lift those feet up, and just point the toes and flex. Little point and flex. Move with the breath. Breathe in. Breathe it out one more time. Breathe it in and breathe it out. And let's bend. And your choice, either rock and roll up to a seated position or just roll over to the side body and make your way there. Totally up to you, whatever feels better. I'm gonna bring my blanket and I'm going to put it underneath me this morning so I'm a little bit lifted. Take a sip of the coffee. Place it down. All right. So let's work with the neck a little bit this morning. Let's go ahead. Just begin by just sitting up nice and tall. Just envision a string pulling us up from the crown of the head. And then let's go ahead and just take a look over towards the right-hand side for a moment. Just make sure that range of motion feels okay. Make sure it feels okay and just gaze forward and then over to the left. See if one side feels a little bit different than the other. And then just bring it back. Go ahead and drop the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Feel nice and long through that left hand side of the neck. And then I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to walk it down and walk it behind me a little bit. And I'm really going to push the fingertips into the earth and pull back with that left shoulder. Really get nice and long right through here. And then I'm going to gently bring it up. I'm going to gently bring it up and lift my head, other side. Just drop it down, drop that right shoulder down. I take my fingertips, I walk them back a little bit, push them into the earth, pull back with that right shoulder. This is my troublesome area for me. Not sure if anybody else holds tension in one side of the neck or the not, but walk it forward. Go ahead and walk it forward. And then just lift up with the hand. I'm going to reach my left hand over towards the right. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop my right ear over towards the right shoulder. Just again, get a nice little stretch through that left-hand side of the neck. Really feel the shoulder blade kind of begin to open. I just have my hands interlaced like so. And then I'm going to go ahead and release that. Change sides. So I'm going to bring my right hand up on top here. Nice stretch through there. Open up through the shoulder blade a little bit. Just let that left ear drop over towards the left shoulder. Go ahead and bring it on up. Bring it on up, and then let's just roll the shoulders a few times. Go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back. Up and back. Change directions. Nice big circles. Just really envision those shoulder blades opening. You can kind of pull the belly in as the shoulder blades open from behind, and then roll them down, pinch the shoulder blades together. Just nice big exaggerated rolls. I'm going to go the opposite direction again. Just really roll it out. Really roll it out. Go ahead and just let the shoulders melt again. And then I'm going to come back to the neck and just roll some little half moons with the neck. So just at your own pace, make sure it feels okay. Just really roll it on out. Take a nice big circle all the way. All the way. And change sides. all the way with that circle as long as it feels okay. Lift it on up. Let's open up our arms out to kind of a T, kind of like a butterfly T, pterodactyl, I don't know. Pull the shoulder blades together. And then I'm going to bring the right arm on top of the left and just wrap them like so. So pull the forearms forward as we do this. Open up through the shoulder blades. Let's take some nice big circles. Nice big circles. Make sure it feels okay on the low back. Make sure we're not putting any tension on the low back here. But you should feel a nice big opening through the upper back body, kind of loosen up some of that fascia in there. And then change directions with your circle. Go ahead and change directions. And then just release it. Pull those shoulder blades together. And then just lift up through the heart, lift up through the belly. Let's take a forward fold. Just a nice loose cross of the legs here. So I don't have them real tight in. Right now I have my right leg in front, but it can be totally up to you, whichever leg feels good, because we're going to change sides in a second. So just go ahead and just put the hands down on the earth. If they touch, let the head completely go. Just feel nice and long through the spine here. Just really feel it open up. And then keep the chin tucked and just slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time from this little forward fold. Just roll up real slow. Just envision each vertebrae stacking on top of one another, kind of like you're lifting a string of pearls. And then we're going to change the cross of the legs. Go ahead and change the cross of the legs. And this time, I'm going to open up my arms. So loose with the legs. Doesn't have to be anything crazy tight, just loose if that feels okay. I'm going to open up the arms again. I'm going to cross the left arm on top this time, or just do whichever the opposite is. And then again, just some of those nice big circles. Feel those shoulders open up. Keep breathing. Remember to breathe. Unwind, open things up. And then let's go ahead, lift through the heart, lift through the belly. Exhale, we're going to take a forward fold again. Forward fold, let the head go. Should feel a little bit of a stretch through that hip of whichever leg is forward, but then also just feel a nice opening through the back body as well. And just let the head go, just breathe. Tuck the chin, gently roll up one vertebrae at a time. One vertebrae at a time, stack, stack, stack. Take a nice breath, seated. Couple breaths maybe. And then let's gently make our way up onto the hands and knees. Still got to incorporate my blanket. I'm just going to use it underneath my knees this morning for a little bit of a restorative cushion. Open up my palms nice and wide. I'm going to make it so I'm looking at backwards L's basically between my hands. So my index finger is pointing straight up or is parallel with the side of the mat. And then just begin to lift through the bum. Lift the gaze, breathe in. And exhale, round. Pull the belly in as you round. And inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Push that belly out, breathe. Exhale, push it all out. Squeeze that air out of the body. Pull the belly in, really round. Then just move at your own pace. Move through some cat-cows. Just bring that breath in. Exhale, round it out. Move at your own pace, your own cycle of cat-cows. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and just gently, very slowly, I'm going to kind of let my palms drag on the mat so I really get some length through the spine here and sink into a child's pose. Oh, you can walk the palms forward a little bit, really lengthen through the arms, through the shoulders, get some traction going there. Really open up with the shoulder blades. And then finally just melt on down. Just take a couple of breaths. You can keep the hands forward or you can bring them by the sides of the body. Palms up. Just breathe wherever you're at. Just breathe. And then go ahead, reach the hands forward again if they aren't. And I'm going to go ahead and just make my way up into a nice table pose again. Tuck through those toes. Downward facing dog. Your choice. You can stay in table if you'd prefer, or just join me in downward facing dog and then just gently walk it out. Just a nice, gentle walk out. Shake the neck out a little bit. And I'm going to bring my knees back down onto the earth. I'm going to untuck my toes, and I'm just going to gently roll up into a kneeling position just for a moment. If this doesn't feel okay, you can always untuck the feet and just sit on the bum, but I'm just going to give the wrists a nice little stretch. Just always remember to give the wrists a little bit of love. And I'm going to stretch it so both directions, so not just that way, but that way as well. Roll it out, make a couple of fists. And then just go ahead and bring the hands back down. And make some figure eights here. So just roll the bum and kind of bend forward or barrel rolls. Just move the body in whichever way feels good to you. Move that spine. Tuck the toes, lift up with the knees, push the chest back towards the thighs. Nice big lift again into downward facing dog. Kind of walk it out a little bit. Walk it out. Shake that neck out. I'm going to gaze up towards the hands and just begin to step my way up towards the front of the mat and make my way into a forward fold. Just let the head completely go. Grasp onto opposite elbows. Just rock it back and forth. Rock it back and forth. Release the hands. Nice little bend into the knees. Stack. Nice flat back. Lift the hands up towards the sky and then bring the palms to heart center. Let's just close our eyes and just stay here for 3 breaths. Just breathe. Nice lift through the crown of the head. Feel the soles of the feet really lift up. So envision the soles of the feet lifting all the way up, or the arches of the feet, I should say, lifting all the way up. Feel a nice equal bit of balance between the toes and the heels. Just breathe. And then let's go ahead, let's open up the arms. I'm gonna scoot my blanket out of the way. And let's go ahead and move through some sun salutations. Hi, Pete. Is that Pete? I think it's Pete. Hi, Pete. Lift the palms, lift the gaze, breathe in. Exhale, nice flat back, take a forward fold. Palms to the shins, lengthen through the back of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Put a little bend into the knees, flat back, rise all the way up. Push into those feet. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do exactly this one more time. Lift through the palms, lift the gaze, breathe in. Flat back, exhale, forward fold. Palms to the shins, lengthen through the back of the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Little bend into the knees. Rise all the way up, breathe in. Exhale. Palms to heart center, very nice. Let's add on a little bit this time. Lift through the palms, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, forward fold. Palms make their way up to the shins. Exhale, forward fold. I'm just gonna heel toe the feet apart. Just come into a little bit of a wide legged stance. So a little bit wider than the hips. And I'm just gonna leave my right hand planted on the earth. I'm gonna lift up with the left hand. Lift up with the left. Change hands. Plant the left hand, lift up with the right. Bring it down. This time I'm going to take a little bend into my right knee as I lift up with that left hand. So right knee is bent, left hand is lifted, left leg is straight. Change directions. So nice bend this time into the left knee as I lift up with the right arm. Oh, feel some length coming through the back of that right leg. Go ahead and bring it down. I'm gonna walk my feet apart, maybe even just a little bit more. Grasp on the opposite elbows if you can. Just take a nice forward fold and kind of rock it out a little bit here. Rock it out. Then just plant the arms or the hands onto the earth if that feels okay. Just feel some nice length coming through the back of those legs. Just breathe. This is a great place to use props too if you have any. You can use bolsters or blocks or anything that you'd like. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to begin to heel toe my feet back together. Heel toe them back together. I'm going to put a bend into my knees. And I'm going to lift up into chair pose here just for a moment. So bent knee as long as that feels okay. Bent knee as long as it feels okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just lift all the way back up into Tadasana. Just take a full breath right here. Exhale, let it go. I'm gonna step to the front of my mat again. And let's flow. Inhale, lift the palms, lift the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, forward fold. Palms lift to the shins, find some length. Exhale, let's go ahead and plant the palms. Put a little bend into the knees. We're gonna step back to begin with the left foot. So the right knee is gonna stay forward. Right knee, right foot are gonna stay forward. I'm gonna flip the mat and give some cushion underneath that left knee. So nice bend into the right knee here. Nice bend, square off through the hips. Just take a moment here. And then lift up. Just take a breath, still nice and squared off through the hips. I'm gonna lift my palms up towards the sky. Your choice, whatever feels good here. And then if you have the palms lifted, see if you can grasp onto opposite elbows. See if you can grasp onto opposite elbows. Feel those shoulders kind of pull together, open up with the heart. Release the elbows. Let's bring the hands on down to the earth. And I'm gonna sink back really slow. Lift up with those right toes. Lengthen through the back body. Exhale, fold. Mm. Exhale, fold. Really feel some nice length through that right leg. And then gently sink back down. So I'm just going to face you guys for a moment here. There we go. Okay, so sinking back down, I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to bring it onto the inside of the right foot. And then I am going to begin to open up so I can kind of gaze down onto the sole of that right foot. So this is an option. You can always keep the sole of the foot on the earth, or you can open it. Begin to feel a nice hip opener. See if you can still kind of square off the hips here. And then if it feels good, maybe even come down onto the forearms. Totally up to you. Another great place to use a prop. Just take a breath wherever you're at. Enjoy this nice hip opener. Nice big breath, and then slowly roll back onto that foot. I'm going to bring the right hand back. I'm going to tuck. That's why it's important to have a little cushion under that knee. I'm going to tuck through the left foot, lift up with the left knee. I'm just going to step the left foot forward just a tiny bit, come into a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to use my belly strength and come all the way up into warrior two. Nice warrior two here. So let that right knee just be directly over the right ankle. Just breathe. Just breathe. Go ahead and flip through the right palm. Begin to straighten up through that right knee. Take a nice lift. And then I'm going to stay lifted. I'm going to bend back into the right knee. Come back into my warrior two. Straighten once again through the right knee. Bring that right hand down onto the right ankle and lift up with my left hand. Lift up. Come into a nice triangle pose here. Go ahead and gaze down to the foot. Bring that left hand down, kind of step forward just a little bit so that the feet, I would say, are maybe 2.5 feet apart. Square off through the hips and take a forward fold into pyramid pose here. Hello, Petey. So you can always bring the hands behind you if that feels better. You can bring the hands down to the earth. Just feel nice and long through that right hamstring. I'm going to put a little bend into the knee and I'm just going to step all the way forward. Come into a nice forward fold. Nice forward fold. Just rock it out a little bit. Woo! Rock it out. Little bend into the knees. Flat back, rise all the way up. All the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. See if we can notice the difference in the two sides of the body. Notice a little more of an open feeling through the right. The left, just excited to do some work here. So let's take a breath in. Let's lift through the palms, lift through the gaze, breathe it in. Exhale, forward fold. Nice flat back, lengthen through the back of the legs, kind of push those shoulders back here. And then exhale, forward fold again, a little bend into the knees. I step back with the right foot this time, and I'm going to keep the left knee forward. I'm going to flip my mat, make sure I get some nice cushion underneath that knee. Really important. Really, really important. Square off through the hips. And I'm going to go ahead and lift my hands up towards the sky and see if we can stack the elbows in the weird way this time. See if you can notice stacking them and make it feel a little different than it did the time before. Open up through the heart. Release the hands. Very nice. Woo! Bring them down Gently sink back, lift up through those toes, lengthen through the back body, lengthen, exhale, forward fold. Let it go. And then go ahead, just sink back down into that left foot. I'm going to bring the left hand on the inside of the foot. Both hands should be on the inside of the foot. I'm going to roll just a little bit so I can gaze onto the inside of that left foot. And then if it feels good, you can come down onto the forearms. If it doesn't feel good, don't. And if it doesn't even feel good to roll onto the outside of that foot, then don't. Just keep a flat foot on the earth. Just take a breath wherever you're at. And then go ahead and just come back up onto the hands if you're on your forearms. Roll back onto the sole of that left foot. I'm going to bring my left hand back, tuck through the toe, lift up with the right knee. I'm going to step forward just a little bit, come into a 45-degree angle. Use your core strength and windmill up into your warrior two. Into your warrior two. So see if you can ask for that left knee to not only come just directly over the ankle, but maybe open up a little bit towards the left side. And then just gaze directly out over those left fingers. Just breathe. I'm going to flip the left palm, begin to straighten through the left knee, reach back, and reverse triangle here. And then I'm just going to bend back into that left knee. Have a reverse warrior. Go ahead and make your way back into warrior two with the hands. Straighten through that left knee. Just bring the left palm down onto the shin. Open up. Gaze up towards that right palm. Find your triangle pose. If it doesn't feel good to look up at you, you can always just look back at the foot. That's perfectly okay too. It feels so good on my shoulder. Wow, really working this morning. And then go ahead. I'm going to bring that right hand down, and I'm just going to step forward a little bit with the right foot and square the hips off. Prepare for my pyramid pose. So go ahead and just take a nice forward fold. You can bring the hands behind if that feels better, whatever works for you. Your choice. Just let the head go. Let it go. Kind of look though, as you're letting it go, see if you can kind of look down towards the ankle rather than back towards the belly. And that way you're going to get a little additional length through that leg. And then a little bend into the left knee and just step all the way forward. Let both feet meet at the front of the mat. Just take a nice forward fold and grasp onto opposite elbows. Just rock it out. Rock it all out. Let the hands go. Take a nice bend into the knees. Rise all the way up. All the way up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And bring the hands to heart center. Okay. So let's make our way down towards the earth. Let's flow to get there. And go ahead and just lift through the palms. Lift the gaze. Breathe it in. Exhale. Forward fold. Palms to the shins. Lengthen. Exhale. I'm going to plant the palms. Bend through the knees, step back 1 foot at a time. I'm going to step back into plank. And your choice, you can either slowly make your way down in plank. You can bring the knees down if you'd like to. Just see what works for you this morning. Just make your way all the way down onto the belly. And wiggle out through the body. Wiggle it all out. And pull the hands back, pull the shoulders back. Nice little lift through a baby cobra here. Gently bring it back down and push back through table. And then I'm just going to slowly make my way up to a nice kneeling position. And just sit down on the bum. Gently make your way onto the back body. Rock it out a little bit. Do what feels good for you here. Maybe take a happy baby pose. Move those legs a little bit. And then I am going to do a hip opener here. So you're welcome to go through a regular pigeon if you'd like. But since we kind of touched on that, I'm just going to do the regular figure 4 version. So crossing my right foot over the top of the left thigh and just reaching back, grasping onto the back of the left thigh. Roll that ankle a few times. Switch sides. So left foot crosses over the right thigh. Reach on through. Grasp on. Let's see if you can flex through that foot that's crossed over. You're going to get a little extra something through the hip and protect the knee as well. So roll out through that lifted foot. And then just bring it down. I'm going to uncross the leg and I'm just going to windshield wiper the knees back and forth a little bit. Windshield wiper. So any pose that might be calling to you this morning, go ahead and feel free to take it. If there is just any additional posture that the body is really, really wanting to move into, I'm going to revisit just bringing the soles of my feet together for 3 breaths. But anything that feels good to you, just go ahead and enjoy it. And then after you complete that, we'll all meet in Savasana. Oh, my goodness. Feels good this morning, gang. Feels really good. Just remember to always come back to that breath. Wherever you're at throughout the day, just come back to that mindful breath. And then I'm going to go ahead and make my way into my Shavasana. I'm going to just reach the feet out. Woo! Almost got the coffee. Open up my arms, open up the palms out towards the sky. Just breathe. Just breathe. Let everything go. Let the breath just return to a normal pace. Just let it go. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Just let yourself completely be. Your Shavasana. Try to stay here for several minutes. Stay as long as you'd like. Just absorb the benefits of our practice. Just feel that peace wash over you. Just be still and be here now. I'm going to leave you in Savasana this morning. Thank you so much for joining. Always a pleasure. Have a beautiful, beautiful day and a beautiful weekend. And be at peace. Namaste. Hi.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Oh, have the best day ever, you guys. Enjoy. I'll see you next week. Bye. Wave bye-bye.